Hello and welcome to our Culture magazine on I24 News with the best from the world of entertainment and art. Today on our show, the big winners of last night's BAFTA Awards. Legendary musician Maurice Mediouni gets a tribute in Tel Aviv. And we host world music producer Philippe Cohen Solal. But to get us started, with me in the studio, Avri Rosen-Tzvi. Hi, Avri.
Hello.
And you're going to tell us about everything that went down at the BAFTAs.
Everything that went down at the BAFTAs.
All right,
you know,
what went down?
in award season, I always forget. It's like you always think, okay, the next one is the Oscar, and then no, there's the BAFTA, there's the Golden Globes, there's so many awards.
Award. There's
Yeah. So yeah, the BAFTAs.
there isn't much left though before
there isn't much. I don't want to say anything. You know,
there's only 10 days.
I think so.
Only
yeah.
10 days away. All right.
So yeah, 12 Years a Slave took the award for Best Film. It's sort of unstoppable at this point, it seems. It also won the Golden Globe Award,
Mm-hmm.
and Chiwetel Ejiofor won Best Actor, and he's sort of uncontended right now. The other interesting awards that we had yesterday, Cate Blanchett won for Blue Jasmine, which is sweeping out the awards. I heard it's a great performance.
It's an amazing performance. It's like, to me, there was no question there. You know, it was obvious from the get-go that the second I stepped out of the film, I knew Cate Blanchett's going to pick it all up. Well, if that's not going to happen in the Oscar, I quit.
It'll be a big upset if it doesn't happen at the Oscars. Peter Greenaway received a special award for an outstanding contribution to British cinema. A longtime filmmaker. In the last, 15 years, he's been doing sort of experimental things, and he's been out of the eye of the public, but a very important filmmaker. And Helen Mirren received the British Academy Fellowship this year. She was awarded. She received the prize from Prince William, which was sort of, they always like to have
some royalty, something that the Oscars can never have.
Something that the Oscars. Well, they have Oscar royalty. You know, they have Leonardo DiCaprio and.
Right.
So those were sort of some of the big wins, but sort of. The movie that swept most of the awards last night was Gravity. It won for special effects, of course. Most of its special effects were made in Britain, so they were very happy to reward themselves.
So there's local pride there.
There is local pride. It was sort of a co-production between Britain and America,
and it won the best British film, even though it is a Mexican director with two American actors.
Yeah, it won the best British film, and actually Alfonso Cuarón talked about it. He was asked, and let's see what he said.
I see. All right. What else went down? Something interesting? Any other awards that you want to point out?
Well, yes. Gravity also took sound design, which Israeli pride. We have a guy who is an Israeli who worked on the sound design. His name is Niv Adiri, and everybody's talking about him in Israel right now. Yeah.
Nice, and he's even nominated for the Oscars as well, so we could have another. What else is happening in the film world that's interesting?
Well, the big news this weekend was Ellen Page, who came out of the closet in a big public speech she made, and then 2 days afterwards, it was announced that Julianne Moore is going to play her lesbian lover in a new film, an indie drama called Freehold. And you know, I don't know if they were intending it this way, but it's
a good opportunity for them to break the news.
A good opportunity. Julianne Moore already played a lesbian in The Kids Are All Right. But for Ellen Page,
she changed to a newer model.
She changed to a much younger model. It's like half her age.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Pianist and composer Maurice Mediouni was born in Algeria to a Jewish family and from an early age skillfully mixed Arabic and Jewish Sephardic music with Latin sounds. These days an effort is underway to issue a comprehensive tribute to his long career. Last week, in a concert held in Tel Aviv, David Gombin spoke to this multicultural music icon.
Maurice Mediouni never learned to read music. But that hasn't stopped this musical genius from having a cross-border career of more than 7 decades.
For me, it's a great honor working with this man. Besides the fact he's truly a legend, I'm a fan of him for years. I learned a lot from him.
Born in 1928 in Oran, Algeria, Mediouni's passion for music goes back to his childhood.
There were many performers of that period who I loved and followed. And when I got home, I would play their pieces. I liked it.
He was orphaned in 1942, and while trying to earn a living, Mediouni wandered to the American GI's quarters, where he discovered new sounds.
He I'm going to show you something.
He told me, I'm going to show you something. American songs. He taught me American songs of the genre.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
And I learned to play their songs. Then Puerto Rican soldiers came in. They had a guitar and a banjo and played Latin music.
And so, Maurice's destiny changed and his own style was born. Mediouni immigrated to France in 1954, where he quickly started accompanying on the piano the greatest legends of the Arab Jewish music.
Today they are all gone. Lili Bonice, Blan Blan, the Reinet Oran, Lili Monti, they are all gone. Then, as there is no one, I started to sing.
Maurice Mediouni has long been a model of openness to others. He was the first to sing with Muslims, mixing Rai with the traditional Shabazi style. And many years later, his Jewish-Muslim band became famous by the 2012 film El Gusto, which portrayed their reunion after 50 years.
For me, this music is joy. It is the friendship of peoples. I think that through music, people can become friends. They can strengthen bonds between them.
In the last few years, as the popularity of so-called world music has grown, the world is getting to know more of Mediouni. In 2006, he recorded the album Descarga Oriental, only his second ever, which documented his sessions with Cuban-American jazz musician Roberto Rodriguez, known for fusion of Latin music and Jewish klezmer. In 2007, he received the BBC Award for World Music. Mediouni moved to Israel 3 years ago, and these days, a crowdfunding project hopes to raise enough funds to produce a CD of the best of his music and a book of his memoirs. It remains to be seen if the next generation of world music lovers will help support Maurice's legacy.
Toda rabba. Shalom Aleichem.
The musical producer of the tribute to Maurice Mediouni is Philippe Cohen Solal, who was also a guest DJ at the event. Solal is a world music producer who co-founded the successful group Gotan project and started BAFTA Records, a global beat label that has produced albums for numerous artists. I'm very happy to welcome Philippe Cohen Solal to our studio. Hello, Philippe.
Hello. Good.
So thank you so much for coming in, of course.
Happy.
I'm curious to hear what's the special meaning of Maurice Mediouni's music to you?
Oh, for me, Maurice Mediouni is, in a way, his music is part of my childhood because my father is coming from Tunisia. Mm-hmm. And at home, we were listening a lot of different kind of music, different styles from rock to soul, but also some Jewish and Arab music and some Jewish Arab music. And Maurice Mediouni, it's like exactly the combination of Jewish and Arab music. And the thing I like very much in Maurice music, it's also this kind of the swing that he has, because the inspiration is coming from a lot of different parts of the world, from Cuban music, rumba, or a lot of different styles are included in his music. Right. But also, I like very much the kindness of his words. You know, it's really very optimistic music, very positive. That's what I like very much.
And what kind of flavor do you hope to bring to it? To this project?
You know what? I think I'm going to try to make it more, maybe a bit more contemporary. If I think it's already really great what was on stage, but the thing I try to maybe to bring this music to other people, to another audience also, and because sometimes some people or some generation of a young generation can be a bit suspicious with old music, and you have just to change a little bit few
to
things
make it more approachable.
Yeah, in a way, and bring also abstraction. An electronic music is bringing abstraction, to acoustic music. So it's by all the new tools of the technology that we have in studio now, we can bring this groove to maybe to the dance floor. So,
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. Now you've done all kinds of different work. You've worked on films as well.
Yeah.
You've worked with some major directors, Lars von Trier,
Sure.
Kieslowski. How do you approach a film project?
First, everything is about storytelling. So the film is, of course, a story, but also the music in the film is a story in the story. So I try to bring like some. It's not only just to superpose, or I don't like too much when it's too obvious. You know, I try to surprise people anyway, musically or in the film, just to bring it's another character in the film. You know, so globally, I try to bring some personality and also avoid all the usual recipes that we have in music for films.
Now, directors, I'm guessing it's very different to work with different directors, because some would have a very clear idea of what they want, and then you have to try to, get to where they want to go, and some would be more open-minded. How does it work?
You know that sometimes, for example, Lars von Trier he knows very well about music. He knows exactly what he wants, but he's also very open-minded, and he gives you like a carte blanche. You know, he's very confident.
He does. That's
yeah. Strangely, because he has a reputation of someone
who's difficult to work with. Yeah,
control freak. But the reality, he is very. When he starts to work with someone, he gives him confidence, and what happened with a lot of great directors,
Right. Now, of the different artists that you've worked with, that you've produced, is there someone that you wish would have gotten more attention, that you feel people have missed somehow?
You mean directors?
No, I mean musicians, people you've produced for, you've worked for in the past.
I would think even the last album of Salif Keita, for many reasons, which was not musical reason, because he had a really great exposure, a great appreciation of the music lovers, but he didn't get to the right audience yet, I think. Sometimes it takes time, It can happen also because a track can be popular like a few years after, because it go to a movie or so. It can happen like that.
Then it goes back, right?
Exactly.
It comes back. Before we finish, Philippe, what are you working on these days?
Oh wow, I'm working on a lot of different things. I'm working on a soundtrack now for a French director called Tony Marshall.
Yeah.
It's a film with two famous French actors, Patrick Bruel and Sophie Marceau. And this music is very inspired by Serge Gainsbourg style from the early 70s. And I'm going to travel musically to Argentina again, to Cuba after, with Maurice to our roots, and a bit also to Israel. So I like to travel musically mostly. That's what I'm trying to put more different stamps on my musical passport.
Sounds wonderful. Philippe Cohen Solal, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much too.
Before we end, here are some cultural highlights from around the world.
From classical to jazz to rock, the guitar is dominant in many music genres. The Felicia Blumenthal Music Center in Tel Aviv honors the string instrument in a program that includes a variety of concerts with an emphasis on classical music. On Monday, famed Israeli classical guitarist Ruben Sarosi will play Baroque works and his own compositions. On February 19th, the Arpeggione duo, Micha Haran and Yehuda Schreier, who play bass and guitar, will play Schubert's Arpeggione Sonata. There will also be a special recital by Czech guitarist Petra Polachkova. Guitar Week is in Tel Aviv until February 19th. The French Natural History Museum hosts the exhibition Night, which explores the dark hours from different aspects: nature, astronomy, biology, anthropology. Through games and multimedia installations, the public can see shooting stars, discover the animals of the night, and enjoy the night sky as seen from the Jardin des Plantes botanical gardens without the city's light pollution. Dive into the world of the night until November 3rd. William S. Burroughs is famous for his work as an author, performer, and painter. One less known aspect of his work is his photography. Now, the Photographers Gallery in London is mounting the first exhibition ever to focus on Burroughs' photography, Taking Shots.
That's it from us. Please join us again tomorrow. Goodbye.